The place where you take the first step across the border. The place where you stay last before crossing the border. The gateway to one country. People from all over the world holding this small piece of identification pass through this gate. This is a story of a special place where people meet, as well as part, and excitement and wistfulness coexist. To come in and out of Korea, which is surrounded by water on 3 sides, you have to travel by air and sea. The only land route is not available for transit due to North Korea. In that sense, Korea is virtually an island. Incheon International Airport is where most people from all over the world stop by to visit Korea. The number of people who use the airport is approximately 60 million per year and over 160,000 per day on average. These people are just a part of them, but they're waiting for someone special for them. For these youngsters, a friend coming to visit Korea. And for these kids, their dad, who came back from a business trip. These are their someone special. This woman stands waiting at the arrival gate for 2 hours, calming a baby daughter and a son.
남편이요. 애기 아빠.
누구 기다려?
아빠요.
아빠요.
빨리 오세요. 빨리 오세요. 아빠 오랜만에 보니까 애들이 들떠 있었죠. 공항 오면 애들이 어디 가는 줄 아나 봐요. 그래서 뭐 아빠 만나는 것도 만나는 거지만 그냥 공항 오면 좋아하니까.
These kids were excited about seeing their dad, who had been in America on a business trip for a month. But they were growing tired at the prolonged wait.
이제 나올 거야. 이렇게. 다빈이, 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 다빈이. 떨리기 시작하네요.
They finally are reunited with the person they have been awaiting for a month.
다리, 아빠 다리. 민준아, 아빠 불러. 아빠.
아빠.
야, 가자, 가자.
민준아, 아들. 아빠 보고 싶었어요. 야빈아. 아이고.
아, 어떡해. 야, 제일 늦게 나오네.
아빠 사랑해요 해봐.
사랑해요.
사랑해요. 사랑해요.
Their dad, who wants to see smiles on his son's face, takes out presents hurriedly.
뭐지? 멍멍.
멍멍이 선물, 그리고 뭐지?
이게 뭐지?
호랑이야.
호랑이야.
우와. 민준아, 이거 자.
It was as long of a wait for the dad as it was for the family.
딱 착륙하는 순간부터, 비행기 착륙하는 순간부터 아, 내 집에 왔구나, 무사히 왔구나. 설레기 시작한 건 어제 저녁부터 뉴욕 LA에서 이제 마지막 자기 전부터 이제 가족들이 보고 싶으니까 사진 보고 이제 그랬죠. 늘 오는 곳이지만 또 유리창을 통과하는 순간 또 뭔가 새로운 가족이 또 날 기다리고 있고 9년 동안 한국에 못 들어온 친구도 있더라고요. 그래서 그 친구 보고 어제 힘내라고 그러고 저는 들어왔습니다. 그래서 행복한 거죠.
Some people have entered after a 10-plus hour flight. They are visiting their corporate headquarters in Korea on business from the U.S.
Oh yeah, I love traveling. I'm really excited. This is my first time in Korea, so excited to be here.
Food. Food is #1 goal. Spicy food. Delicious food.
With them came a Korean. He came to Korea on business in the capacity of the U.S. local staff.
저도 한국에 되게 오랜만에 와서 좀 그래요. 지금 가족분들 저 앞에서 기다리고 저는 이제 같이 이동해야 돼서 같이 왔어요.
They have to travel 4 hours by car from now to their destination. An old couple quietly follows in their footsteps. The son, who has come back for the first time in 2 years, makes a short greeting and then takes off with the co-workers. The grandson, who came with the son, is going to stay with his grandparents at their place in the meantime.
아들은 저기 대구로 거기 LG로 가고 우리는 집으로 가고 손자랑 와서 손자를 더 좋아했어요 아들보다. 아들 오는 건 생각 안 하고 손자만 쳐다봤어요.
It's been 2 years since they saw him last, and now he's a mischievous 4-year-old.
딱 아까 느낌이 갈 때 또 갈 때 어떻게 보내나 또 그 생각이 딱 떠오르더라고요.
한 사람들.
만나자마자 벌써 보내시더니.
눈물 나도 울지 않을라나 지금.
새해 복 많이 받으세요.
새해 복 많이 받으세요.
야, 최고.
It's a space for joyful meetings. A daughter came to meet her parents from Seattle. The family emigrated to the U.S. 40 years ago. As the daughter returned to Korea with marriage, they came to live apart. It has been 2 years since they last met.
그리웠던 곳에 왔다는 느낌. 예. 외국에서라도 늘 그리운 곳이니까요. 공항은 그리운 사람을 만나고 보내고 그렇게 하고 많은 얘기를 담는 곳. 예. 그리고 삶이 공존하는 곳 같아요.
항상 이렇게 만남이 있는 장소니까 예, 항상 기쁨이 있는 장소. 근데 또 슬픔도 있는 것 같아요. 왜냐하면 또 떠나보낼 때는 또 눈물도 나고 예, 그런 게 있어요. 그래서 먹어야지 잘 먹어야지.
To them, the airport is a space of love and hate, where the joy of meeting and the sadness of parting cross paths. Airports are bound to have people with ample time on their hands, either because they arrived there early or because they have time before connecting flights. They can simply wait, but the airport offers quite a few things to make good use of their time. A regular performance at the center stage lets you briefly forget about the tedious wait. At another spot, you can enjoy a performance of Korean traditional instruments.
I thought it was awesome. Yeah, it's cool to be able to come to the airport and have a little bit of the Korean culture. You know what? It's really high tech. Really high tech and clean and a lot to offer. So it's kind of an exciting place to see people come and go. You know, if I was stuck anywhere, it'd be this place.
This young man from Seattle in the U.S. is on his way back home after spending 5 months in Asia, his first overseas trip. To him, the airport means the beginning of a journey.
Traveling means adventure. It means adventure to me. It means sometimes we're stuck in a bubble We live in our comfort zone, and sometimes you have to take a risk. You have to get out there. You have to try new things, and sometimes you're gonna like it, sometimes you're gonna love it. And my philosophy is you're gonna get out what you put in.
Some people try out a variety of amenities at the airport. Clientele choosing a capsule hotel where they can take 5 in privacy is one of them. Mr. Popo, a Canadian, says he has gotten used to going to airports all over the world on business to the point of tedium.
I had a 6-hour flight from Bangkok, and I have another 16-hour flight to Toronto, so this is really a lifesaver for me. It allows me to refresh and have a good rest in preparation for my next leg of the trip. I could go to Bangkok via Hong Kong, but I tried to use Incheon instead, especially on the way back, because I know this facility will be here.
To Mr. Popo, a business jet setter, the airport is not so much of a romantic place.
Usually a headache, but it's a necessity. You can't go anywhere without it, obviously.
This guest came here to spend his 3 hours of free time in peace.
워낙 어제도 이제 밤늦게까지 작업도 하고 그래서 지금 밖에 나가는 것보다는 지금 약간 좀 쉬고 싶은 마음이 있어서요. 보통 숙박시설보다는 좀 작긴 한데요. 공항에서 이용할 수 있다는 것 자체가 좋은 것 같습니다.
This is a space of sweet and uninterrupted relaxation, alone. Most of those in smart uniforms at the airport are airline crew members. This uniform reminds us of friendly service. But not all uniforms spotted at the airport mean smiles, at least not with these airport security guards.
거동 수상자 확인과 취약 지역이라면 쓰레기통 하단 벤치나 아니면은 눈길이 닿지 않은 화장실 내부 등을 확인하면서 순찰을 돌고 있습니다. 아무래도 국가 보안 목표 시설이다 보니까 조금 더 긴장감을 갖고 세밀하게 보게 되는 것 같습니다.
They do their best to move around quietly so people don't feel intimidated.
기본적으로 저희가 TRS라고 하는 이 무전기로 사용해서 일단 다중 이용 시설이다 보니까 이제 함부로 예를 들어서 화재가 났다거나 이런 거를 이제 큰 소리로 낼 수 없기 때문에 음악 같은 거를 숙지해서 저희끼리 이제 수신호를 보내기도 하고 그리고 기본적으로 붕삭이랑 이제 탄을 갖고 소지하고 다니고 있습니다.
Also, keep in mind that these gentlemen are martial arts experts. Someone is dressed in his own uniform, decorated with national flags from all over the world. He is a diehard sports fan who still comes to the airport to relive the festive feeling from the Winter Olympic Games.
외국 양반들이 올 적에 아유 안녕하세요 감사합니다 그런단 말이요. 자기 존경해줘서 싫다는 양은 없잖아. 잘해주면은 자기네 국기 흔들어 달라고. 자기네 국기를 줘. 그래 하나씩 뚜씩 모아 또. 그래 요 뺐지. 하나씩 또 줘요 자기 거. 자기를 응원해줘서 고맙다고.
He has so far collected over 30 national flags that way. His appearance turns heads. This passenger waiting for her US-bound connecting flight was not an exception.
How old are you?
85인데 뭐라 그래야 돼? 85인데.
85? Oh, are you strong? My dad 84. Yeah, it's wonderful, you know, because in his age, and stronger and more. Yeah, fantastic.
It's an interesting connection made in a foreign city.
Photo.
Likewise, sometimes unique people turn airports into an interesting place. If you take an airport limousine bus for departures, you will see these people as you arrive at the airport. They are waiting with their own special tools in hand.
가방 꺼내는 거야. 가방을 이렇게 걸어갖고 안에 있는 거는 걸어가지고 밖으로 끄집어내야 되는 거야.
They are hired to unload baggage for limousine bus passengers. The unique tool comes through when taking out the baggage from deep inside the compartment.
한 칸에 한 40개 넘어요. 50개 정도 가까이 돼요.
The peak hours are around 5 a.m. and 4 p.m. when a number of flights take off. Since this is the departure floor, speed is a must.
여기 3층은 이제 바빠요. 가시는 게들이 바쁘니까 뭐 빨리 꺼내달라 그러고 뭐 정신없이 뛰시고 그래요.
워낙 뭐 한국 자체가 서비스업이 잘 돼 있으니까 당연히 그런 경우가 없죠. 해외는. 그리고 셔틀 버스도 잘 없죠. 미국이나 캐나다 같은 경우.
Another bus is coming in right after it.
이거 지금 100개 없어요, 이거. 이거 지금 100개 안 돼.
그걸 어떻게 알아요?
아, 이거 손 묵은 거 알죠.
It may sound obvious, but it is a smart judgment. They figure out the number of passengers in advance, and if they believe there are a large number of suitcases, handlers from the next line join in to help out.
지금 저희들이 서비스해드리고 하는 부분에 있어서 대부분 사람들이 고마워하시는 분들이 더 많아요. 부담 갖는 분들은 그렇게 많지 않습니다. 예, 나가겠습니다. 수고하세요.
The bus takes off to pick up more passengers bound for the airport. There erupts a sudden commotion near the departure gate. Members of a boy band are leaving the country. Fans who know their schedule by heart have come out to the airport to show they care. These fans who want to see their idols up close and cherish them mostly have come from overseas. These Chinese fans are staying in Korea for almost 10 days to go to the band's concert.
하이라이트. 아.
노래도 좋고 춤도 좋고 사람도 너무 좋아요.
근데 이렇게 따라다니려면 안 힘들어요?
안 힘들어요. 다른 멤버 양요섭이 아침에 스케줄 있어요. 그쪽이 끝나서 이쪽으로 와요. 이런 거 찍었어. 귀여워요. 너무 귀여워요.
These are her traces of coming in and out of Korea. To her, the airport is a place of opportunities to meet her idols. You can tell right away that this couple, dressed alike from head to toe, is traveling together.
귀여운 컨셉이에요. 항상 똑같아요. 항상 똑같아야 돼가지고.
This cute couple who came to the airport to travel to Japan are already excited.
이제 비행기 탄다. 너무 좋아요.
비행기 탈 때가 제일 좋은 것 같아요.
To them, the airport is a place of happy flutters. In several hours, these people will get out of here and fly on to their destinations. To this businessman soon to depart, the airport is a place of fluid emotions.
It can be a fun place if you're looking forward to the next place you go, so that can be fun. Or it can be sad sometimes if you don't want to leave.
To this family, the airport is a sad place, at least at this moment. This newlywed decided to settle down in America for a new life. The mother and the daughter, trying hard to stay calm, ultimately get tearful. The heart-aching goodbye is getting prolonged.
괜찮았는데 한 번 더 해서 그래. 아유, 쿨하게 보내주려고 그랬는데.
Parting with her daughter-in-law is sad for the mother-in-law too.
이럴 줄 알았어. 특별한 며느리여서 늘 가까이 있고 싶었는데 빨리 보내서 지금은 많이 마음이 아쉽지만 남편을 따라주는 며느리가 너무 예뻐요. 그래서 아쉬움이 많아요. 보내는 게.
The flight is over 10 hours long, covering more than 10,000 kilometers. It's a goodbye to meet the new world.
새로운 곳으로 가는 게이트이기도 하고 아쉬운 그런 게이트이기도 하고.
The young couple passes the gate into the new world. The family left behind wish the best for them on their new journey. Yet another air route opens up, containing memories and the hopes of many. Busan Port is Korea's biggest port and a logistical gateway. Surrounded by water on 3 sides, Korea has ports all throughout the country. Busan is the largest of them. Busan Port is Korea's first modern trade port that opened its doors in the 1800s. It is not just people, but goods from around the world that pass through this gateway. 80% of container traffic coming in and out of Korea goes through Busan Port. Crane operators are switching shifts. There's no sea fog and tides are gentle today, so it's not a bad day for work.
항상 위험한 작업이다 보니까네 항상 긴장한 마음으로 생각을 많이 하고 갑니다.
Park Sung-woo has 25 years of experience. He heads to the 60-meter-tall crane, as always, for work. It's a giddy height, equivalent to a 24-story apartment building. Throw in some ocean breeze, and someone who is faint of heart wouldn't even dare to stand here. The preliminary work begins to move containers carried on the ships onto the land.
네, 작업을 시작하기 위해서 봄을 내리는 과정입니다. 이제 배가 접안을 하니까 봄을 들어줘야 되고, 배가 출항하기 위해서 또 봄을 들어줘야 되고, 작업하기 위해서 봄을 내려줘야 되고, 그런 과정입니다.
For efficiency's sake, 3 to 4 cranes for large vessels and 1 to 2 cranes for smaller vessels are put to work simultaneously. Inside the control room dangling below the boom, he works on moving the containers onto the land himself. He walks out to the solitary space 43 meters above the ground. The work requires a high degree of concentration, so they switch shifts every 2 hours. A seasoned operator can unload 30 containers per hour on average.
아파트 한 채만 하는 크레인인데 이게 덩치도 굉장히 크고 그러는데 실제 작업하는 용도는 굉장히 섬세하고 이렇게 안전을 요하고 미세한 흔들리는 후리라고 그러는데 그런 것까지 작업하면서 밑에 작업하는 사람들 안전까지 책임을 져야 되는 그런 고공 작업입니다. 파도가 울렁일 때니 배도 움직이니까 이게 같이 맞춰가면서 해야 되니까 안전 작업에 신경이 많이 쓰이고 피로도도 좀 느껴지고.
The annual freight volume at Busan Port amounts to 20 million TEU. This is equivalent to 20 million containers, and when arranged in one line, the containers can go around the Earth about 3 times. The unloaded containers move to the container yard. Although the containers appear to go in empty lots in the order that they came in, locations change depending on their details, such as final destinations and companies. The stacked up containers move to the trucks bound for destination. But this crane doesn't have an operator's seat. Just like a scene from a video game, this gigantic container is controlled by human hands.
이 장비가 있는 거리는 여기서 한 2km 정도에 떨어지가 있습니다. GPS를 통해 갖고서 무선으로 전파를 줘 갖고서 저희들이 이렇게 외부차에다가 컨테이너를 실어줍니다.
He understands what his work represents here at the logistical gateway.
컨테이너가 많아지면 물량이 많아지면은 나라 경제가 살아나는구나 하는 그런 생각을 갖고 물량이 줄어들면은 경제가 안 좋아지는구나 이런 생각을 갖는 거죠.
Veteran operators with 20+ years of experience take charge of Korea's logistics distribution here. Every job is under the control of the control tower.
비행기 들어올 때 쉽게 말해서 뭐 1번 계류장으로 오면 2번 계류장으로 오면 여기서도 마찬가지입니다. 1번 선수, 2번 선수 선수들 할당을 내주면서 크레인도 나눠주고 전부 다 작업을 좀 더 지시를 다 하는 거죠.
Freight that has arrived at the port safely through the high seas now proceeds to its destinations. The port at the end of the sea return brims with vitality. It's Busan Port, a place that never sleeps. Sea routes are not purely for freight. Ships move people too. Regular sea routes from Busan Port International Passenger Terminal take you to Tsushima Island in Japan in about an hour, and even to Fukuoka in roughly 3 hours. It's even quicker than a Busan to Seoul trip by train. That explains why people commonly take it to have a quick trip. These gentlemen, who love mountains, plan to take a trip to Tsushima Island for 2 days.
산행을 하기 때문에 거기 있는 산을 좋아해서 나는 한번 가보겠다.
배가 움직인다 하면 그 자리에 그대로 앉아 계세요. 딱 움직일 때는 5분이나 10분쯤 지나면요, 그때 움직여요. 그러면 멀미를 안 한답니다.
Passport? Check. Useful tips for boat trips? Check. And you're ready to set sail.
떠날 수 있다. 현지에서 머물고 있는 장소에서 어딘가를 떠날 수 있다는 그런 느낌.
저기 딱 들어가는 순간에 아 여행이구나 하는 설레임 그런 게 있죠.
It's common to spot people going on a fishing trip to nearby Tsushima Island.
세상 와서 잊어버리고 그냥 고기에만 집중하니까 재밌죠. 요즘 우리나라 낚시인분들 100만 명이라는 것 같은데 우리는 뭐 몇 번 갔으니까 이거 처음 가니까 이제 한번 이제 맛을 보여주는 거 그러는 거지.
Departure by sea has relatively simple exit and entry procedures compared to that by air. Add the excitement of traveling on the sea to that, and the joy of travel has already set in.
출조 계획 잡을 때부터 설레임이 오기 시작해요. 그때부터 이제 설레임은 계속 연속이죠.
On average, there are 6 vessels bound for Tsushima Island in Japan. There is a constant traffic of Korean and Japanese vessels. Tsushima Island is the closest foreign destination to Korea, where over 700,000 Koreans take a quick trip every year.
현재로서는 대마도가 항공기가 지향을 안 하고 있고 항공기가 지향하더라도 이륙에서 내리고 수속하는데 시간이 거의 1시간 정도 걸립니다. 배로도 1시간 전후면 갈 수 있는 거리니까 배로서 또 장점이 있는 거죠. 그 정도로.
The ferry just came in from Fukuoka, Japan. It reached Busan port in 3 hours. People feel they have crossed the border as they step onto the shore, but they actually did it at sea. As the maritime borders are not visible, ships carry special marks.
저희 선박이 일본 국적의 선박이다 보니까 한국의 일단 선박의 뒷부분에 있는 국기는 일본 국기입니다. 저 선수 위쪽에 달려있는 국기는 일단 도착하는 나라를 상징합니다. 일단 부산에서 출발해서 이제 한국 국기를 내리고 이제 일본으로 갈 경우에는 일본 국기를 다시 게재합니다.
Passengers flock to the ship heading back to Japan, one after another.
なかったです。すごい便利でした。はい、快適でした。あと親切だったし、添乗員さんの。
楽しかったね。楽しかったです。もう一回来たいと思いました。
지금 떠나는 것도 하나의 여행의 그 과정이라고 보거든요. 저희는 그래서 이미 배에서부터 좋은 경험으로 끝까지 재밌게 잘 다녀오셨으면 하는 마음.
Passenger terminals have more than just people who try to cross the borders. This person is drawing attention with a character costume. It is to explain the new and modified fishery product quarantine system, and it seems much more effective than just a signboard.
대부분 흥미가 있는 이제 몰랐던 것들에 대해서 이제 질문도 많이 해주시고 관심을 가져주시는 것 같아요.
There are other things that may get people interested. This machine instantaneously prints pictures you take.
그 인스타그램에다가 올리시게 되면 여기 한 15초 뒤에 여기 떠요. 그래서 그걸 선택을 해서 프린트가 가능하세요. 이게 저희 캐릭터 해랑이에요. 그래서 여기 보면 배경을 밑에 바꿀 수가 있어요. 옆에서 보시고 이제 마음에 드는 거 있으면 이렇게 선택한 후 여기 프린트 눌러주시면 이제 조금 기다리면 여기 밑으로 나와요. 네, 그냥 이렇게 나와요.
자, 옷을 보세요. 아우, 이쁘다. 대마도가 다 날아가겠다.
This is a fleeting moment of happiness with the star of the passenger terminal. Some may put on a character costume to promote a cause and catch attention, but others approach people after examining them first.
한국으로 공연시와 いかがでしたか?
よかったです。
まあ何番目ですか?
初めて、釜山初めて。6月?
はい。
すごい。
He is a volunteer Japanese interpreter.
良いお旅をお願いします。
ありがとうございます。頑張ってください。
혹시 언어가 필요한 사람이 있을까 하고 그리고 보통 보면은 표정만 봐도 보통 알아요. 우리 한국 사람들은 보통 보면 좀 모르고 하면은 길을 그냥 스스럼없이 묻는데 이런 사람들은 굉장히 좀 그 물어보는 걸 갖다가 많이 꺼려하는 거예요. 그래서 그런 점을 알고 바로 다가가서 물어보는 거예요. 뭘 도와드릴까요? 항상 반가운 얼굴로 고마운 얼굴로 항상 저한테 대해주기 때문에 저 역시도 그걸 그대로 저도 항상 같이 기분이 동화되는 거예요.
These ladies are going on a trip as a group. They are busy sorting out the baggage down to the very last minute.
3박 4일 동안 먹을 간식을 나눴거든요. 32명. 한 사람이 못 들고 다녀서 라면, 과자, 소주. 지금 좀 농한기를 이용해서 저희 일본에 가서 노컬푸드 직매장도 보고 또 온천에 가서 좀 피로 좀 풀고 오려고요.
이제 바빠지기 시작하면 못 가잖아요. 시골서는 움직이지 못하니까 농번기는 못 움직이니까.
They are getting away from farming for a long time for this trip.
소풍이랑 마찬가지죠. 너무 즐거워요.
The daughter-in-law is going on a trip with her mother-in-law.
이렇게 간다고 해서 제가 어머니랑 한번 가보려고 온천도 가보고 싶고 해서 제가 신청했어요.
아이고 가자고 하니까 고맙잖아. 좋더라고.
집 나왔는데 얼마나 좋아요. 집을 나왔는데. 가장 좋고 다 물어봐요. 집 나오면 진짜 좋지. 맞아. 언니.
맞아. 정답.
To them, the passenger terminal is not a gateway to cross the border, but an exit to joy and relaxation. Right before she leaves, the wife checks how her husband is doing alone back home once again.
식사했어요? 네. 배 타려고 지금 줄 섰어. 내 사랑. 알았대요. 배 잘 타고 갔다 오래요.
They are now leaving reality behind and taking off for a happy and enjoyable time.
앞쪽으로 오시면 됩니다.
안녕히 가세요.
Loaded with people brimming with excitement and joy, the ship will head out into the sea in the still of the night. The ship that left Osaka is coming into Busan port after sailing for 19 hours. People spent a night on the ship before arriving at Busan port. It is not short by any means like boat rides to and from Tsushima Island or Fukuoka, but they say it actually is the beauty of the boat trip.
재밌어요. 즐거워요. 배 타고 오면 재밌어요.
자고 먹고 즐거운 시간이 많이 있으니까 비행기 타면 짧잖아요. 근데 배 타면 시간을 많이 이렇게 즐길 수 있으니까 좋아요.
아, 그래요?
These Japanese college buddies came to Busan together. There is a reason why they picked Busan.
船で来たかったからです。ゆっくり寝れるのと、ご飯、バイキング。
They landed on the shore after a long boat ride. The youngsters seem slightly excited.
匂いが違います。本当に本当に。なんか日本は醤油。いい匂い。なんか韓国に来たなっていう。美味しい匂い。韓国人の彼氏がいます。着物屋さんです。
あ、着物屋さん。
in 京都。スタイリッシュです。
スタイリッシュ。
ハワイアン。韓国大好きです。大食い。たくさん食べる大食い。
The trip to Korea that made their heart throb on the ship now begins in earnest. Members of this Japanese bowling society, most of whom are first-timers to Korea, also specifically chose the ship as a means to come here.
飛行機と違ってすごくフレンドリーでした。飛行機は海外に来たぞってみんな緊張するんですけど、船は境界線の時に緊張感ではなくてなんかフレンドリーに入りました。
いつの間にか入ったっていう感じだから初めてだったので、寝て起きたらもう違う国なんだよっていうのにワクワクしてました。
韓国楽しむぞー。
Bicycles make an appearance in the waiting room. These are club members who have just come back after traveling around Osaka on bicycle.
요 멤버들은 1년에 한 번 정도 2016년도에 일본 한 번 다녀온 후쿠오카 한 번 다녀온 적이 있었고, 이번에는 오사카, 교토 이렇게.
Since they put comfort before short travel time when choosing the means to cross the borders, they chose a ship.
시간은 길지만은 선박이 좋은 점이 비행기의 1등석보다 퍼스트 클래스보다 훨씬 좋죠. 누워오고 샤워하고 목욕하고. 제가 여기서 한 5km 정도만 가는 거예요.
They came back here after passing through the gateway safely.
안도감이 생기고 다시 또 일터로 돌아왔다는 그런 또 현실감이 생기죠.
Pedaling briskly on the bicycle and feeling the sturdy ground, he proceeds toward reality again. Ships loaded with hopes, excitement, or wistfulness are busily moving about on the sea to pass through the gateway. The only land route to overseas from the Korean peninsula is in the north. There is a train running northward from Seoul Station.
The KTX train, number 112, arriving.
DMZ Peace Train is a type of tourist train that runs to Dorasan Station, the northernmost train station in Korea. People get on the train that runs daily to and from the border they can't cross. The old man, who used to work in the DMZ for his military service when he was young, took the train because he wanted to see the place again.
저희가 이제 해방되던 해방세대고 그렇기 때문에 또 6.25 전쟁도 어릴 적에 겪었고 그렇기 때문에 분단국가라는 것이 너무 슬픈 감이 들죠. 아무래도 분단국가가 아니었으면 대륙을 통해서도 또 중국도 갈 수 있고 러시아도 갈 수 있고.
If it can pass through North Korea, the Trans-Siberian train route from Europe to Vladivostok can continue on to Korea.
저도 열심히 돈 모으고 있습니다. 대륙 횡단 열차 통과해서 가려면 일단 일본으로 가고 싶어서 모으고는 있는데 되겠죠 그렇게. 조만간 되겠습니다.
앞으로 통일이 된다면 북을 넘어서 유라시아까지 그런 날이 오기를 정말 바라고 있습니다. 저도 거기까지 이제 열차 승무를 하고 싶기도 하고요.
The DMZ Peace Train is an interesting experience for foreigners visiting Korea.
すごくなんか雰囲気が良くて、まさかこんな電車とは思いませんでした。
I like DMZ train because the art on the roof.
The train bound for the border of the world's only divided country has such festive patterns and colors that it feels like a tourist train inside an amusement park. But the scenery outside is not so festive as the inside of the train.
좌우측으로 펼쳐진 철조망을 지나 잠시 후 우리는 민간인 통제 구역으로 들어가게 됩니다.
We live in a country where the media nowadays talks often about North Korea and South Korea and the hope to be peaceful very soon. And we thought my son knows that because we passed that historic message. One day we will live in a better world and Korea will be North Korea and South Korea. They will be together, work for the same mean. And he asked us to come to visit the DMZ.
It's very interesting. There is a difference between Seoul, the busyness, the lights, the city, and then when you start leaving the city, you become more agricultural, the fields, and there is a feeling it's getting colder, and I feel it's getting more towards the North Korea I expected. It's interesting. It's a very interesting landscape to see. As we get towards the DMZ, it feels definitely a bit more. The atmosphere is changing a little bit more tense. It feels, yeah.
Once at Imjingang Station, passengers have to briefly get off the train. The moment they pass Imjingang Station, they enter the zone restricted for civilians. All passengers have to have their ID checked. It brings home to them the fact that the border is getting closer.
I feel very strange because I know before many years ago, this place, it's one country, one people, and there's a united culture, but now they have to divide. They can't even travel to each country. But they are not divided physically, but also, you know, in the environment. The two countries are so different right now. Yeah, so it's very sad to see such a thing happen.
1.5 hours after leaving Seoul Station and 56 kilometers away, they have arrived at Dorasan Station, the final destination located within the restricted area for civilians. This is the only station where trains can go between South and North Koreas, but no civilians can actually use this station. Only the occasional waves of tourists disrupt the desolate silence inside.
I'm a United States history teacher, so I teach about the Korean War, so it's good to be here, to be immersed and to be a better teacher in the classroom back in the United States. It's very sad that we can't have the access to all of Korea because of what's going on with the geopolitical system. But I think in the future, I know that with the determination and with divine providence that one day the wall or the line will be forever done away with and our people will be united as one.
아직 분당이 있는 나라 그거 독일 사람에게 좀 특별한 느낌 있어요. 그래서 같은 역사 있어서 독일 사람 이런 곳에 관심이 많아요. 독일 지금 그 통일되는데 여기 아직 그 나라 2개 남아서 저도 그 한국 통일 정말 부탁해요.
Route number 1 and Gyeonggi-san rail tracks stretch into the north, but no Koreans can freely transit except on political grounds. A place they can't even visit with their passports. People soothe wistful hearts with a commemorative stamp.
You don't see that in the rest of the world, right? It's unique. It's very unique. Maybe there was something similar. There was something like this happened before in Berlin, right? But that was the past. They moved on. They made peace, and I think Korea should do the same.
Many Koreans, as well as these people, never give up hope that they will be able to travel north on this train route, and the land route will open up one day. A place where people meet and part, and excitement and wistfulness coexist. A place where stories of a variety of people and interesting events take place all day long. This is a gate.